Davison the face-off. Desert Christian sends it on net. Glove save. All right, apologies for any technical difficulties early on. Lost the network here at the rink. Desert Christian wins the face-off. Back to their blue line, far wall, near side, shot. Glove save, fair cloth. Gorman to catch you up. Gorman with a 1-0 lead over Desert Christian. Bonifazio sends it in, bad bounce, gets behind the goalie. Davison for the face-off in the D-zone, kicks it up to himself, feeds it out. Westwood, Fitzy sends it in, Fitzy on the press. Gets there for Gorman. Davis comes in, feeds it back around to Westwood. Westwood back at the goal line, loose up front, shot! And save, Luong on the rush, shot off a body. Luong with a shot and couldn't get it in, bouncing puck, tried slapping out of the air. And Desert Christian prevents Gorman from taking a 2-0 lead. Stretch pass tipped down by Baldy. Back at the Gorman blue line. Gorman going to squeeze in a change. Baldy sends it across. Westwood tips it in. Feeds it back out to Fitzy, near wall, out of reach. And Desert Christian comes through the neutral zone. Couldn't hold on to it. Fed back through. Fitzy still on the ice with Westwood. Walks it in. Shot. Glove save. With 12:50 remaining. Fish in for the face-off with Godino, and Creel kept in the zone by Rubino. Fed back down low. Creel gets there for Gorman, battling for position on the puck. Stays upright. Kept in play by Rubino, chipped up. Cleared, and Godino's going to send it wide. Creel gets there for Gorman, chips it in, and out of play. Face-off coming up in the neutral zone. Kerr in for the face-off. Mesa, Klaus, Luong, and Trent. Trent feeds it near side off the skate of the ref as on its way to Luong. Back out to Luong, feeds it to Trent. Couldn't connect for Gorman. Trent sends it wide, other side. That should have been offsides. Desert Christian brings back behind the Gorman goal, fed out front, loose. Sent back behind the goal line, and Kerr gonna send it around. He'll clear that one. That will be an icing for a face-off coming back in Gorman territory. 11:31 remaining in the first period. Gorman with an early lead. Jennings, Bonifazio, Tritton, Posner, and Baldy. Jennings in for the face-off, wins it back. Flips it up to Jennings, flips it out to Tritton. Tritton's going to feed it down low. Desert Christian looking to send it through on the far side. Baldy with a hit. Still in play. Jennings on the back check. Sent through the crease. No one there for Desert Christian. Huge hit on the near boards on Tritton. And he's back up. Puck comes out loose in the neutral zone. Jennings Going to send it out to Posner, and Gorman will regroup. Pass out to Bonifacio on the far side, couldn't connect. As Gorman squeezed in a change. Jennings keeps it in play at the blue line, at the faceoff dot, trying to send it across off a shin. And it's going to come back the other way. Rubino backhands it the other direction. Westwood with an opportunity. Shot looking for the right-hand side, still in play. Davis in. Fitzy with a shot, couldn't connect cleanly. Feeds it to Davis. Shot. And swallowed up by the goaltender. Westwood feeding Davis in the slot. Davis in for the face-off in Desert Christian territory. Comes out in favor of Gorman. Fitzy's going to feed it down low, up high. Picked up by Davis, out to the point. Rubino feeds Davis. Davis sends it wide as he had two guys on him. Larison feeds it back down low. In comes Westwood to support. Fitzy at the dot. He's got Westwood out front. Shot, short side. And goalie able to keep that one buried in the elbow. Gorman keeping pressure on Desert Christian. Faceoff comes out. Favor Desert Christian, bringing it on the near side. Long pinching up. Fishing drop back. Comes out to Fish. Shot. Glove save. Creel posted out front to say hello. And we will have another Ozone faceoff. Desert Christian gets the clear. Nope, do not get the clear. Long sends it back down the other way. Fish forcing a pass out to the other side. Near side wall, 2-on-1, back checking Trent, and they're going to say offsides. And we will have face-off coming up in the neutral zone along the near wall. Dino in for the puck drop. He's going to send it down the other way. Picked up by the goaltender. Loose up front. Goal! Creel picks up a mishandled puck at the hash marks. And Gorman makes it a 2-0 game with an empty net goal. Goaltender sends it out. Couldn't handle the pass by the defenseman. And Gorman has a 2-0 lead. Davison for the faceoff. Wins it back to Trent. Trent, Fitzy through the neutral zone. Walks it in, sends it down low. Goes on the forecheck. Drop down. And we have a penalty coming up on Desert Christian. As Westwood was hit back behind the play, or in the corner. Fitzy saying hello. And Gorman gonna go on the power play, maybe. Might be both. Nope, just one. Number 5 will head to the box. Gorman will have a man advantage, 2 minutes. Davis, Kerr, Fitzy, Baldy, and Westwood. Fitzy in for the faceoff. Desert Christian clears down to the Gorman hash mark. Baldy sends it across, out of reach, comes out to Davis, chips it down low. Westwood picks it up. Loose and covered. Davis posted out front. And new group coming out for Gorman. Godino, Fish, Creel, Trent, and Jennings. Christian brings it back the other way. One-on-one the other direction. Jennings back checking. Shot. Goal. It'll be a shorthanded goal for Desert Christian. On the 2 goals for Gorman, Bonifazio credited with the initial goal, an assist from Tommy Trent. Cash Creel unassisted for the second. Gorman still leading 2-0. .125 remaining. Kerr, Davis, Fitzy, Westwood, and Baldy. Puck cleared out to the goaltender. Off Davis, loose out front. Off the post, and they're going to blow it dead. Davis on the rush. Goaltender waiting to lob it over off the chest of Davis. And him and Kerr trying to finish that one off. Goaltender able to scramble. And we'll bring the face-off to the near side. Net came off, that's why they blew it dead. Comes out in favor of Gorman. Baldy at the blue line, feeds it back up to Kerr near wall. Drops it to Fitzy. Fed back down low. Davis comes in, looking for support. Davis and Kerr battling along the backboard. .48 seconds remaining. And they're going to let them just battle this one out. And they'll blow the whistle there. And Gorman will bring out the other unit. Jennings, Creel, Fish, Dino, and Trent. .7:33 remaining in the first period. 36 seconds left on the Gorman power play. Gorman wins it. Creel to Godino, back out to Trent, near wall. Looks for space, high in the slot. Shot, loose out front, goal! And Gorman makes it a 3-1 game. Power play goal for Gorman. Fish puts it in the back of the net. And Gorman goes back to a 2-goal lead. Kerr, Mesa, Klaus, Rubino, and Larison in for the face-off. Puck comes out to Larison, chips it up to Klaus, trying to feed Kerr in motion. Huge hit. That's going to be another penalty as Faircloth makes his way to the Gorman bench. And Faircloth will, as always, steps across the threshold. They blow the whistle, and he can work his way back to the crease. All right, Gorman back on the power play. Number 15, with a roughing call, appropriately named Angst. And Gorman, 2-minute power play. Puck comes out to Godino. Trent looking for space. Godino down on the near point, feeds it across the other side. Fish scoops that one up. Jennings through the crease. Gorman keeps it in play. Shot. Godino makes it a 4-1 game. Gorman with 4 goals in the first period. Gorman with their second power play goal. .6:45 remaining in the first period. And we have a timeout coming up for Desert Christian as they regroup and try to slow it down. Goal number 3, Fish with the credit on the goal, assist from Godino and Trent. And the 4th goal for Gorman, Godino with an assist from Tommy Trent. Trent with 1, 2, 3 points so far in this game on assists. Desert Christian, stand corrected from earlier. Desert Christian is 6-1 coming into this game. Gorman with a 3-6 record. Shots on goal currently 10-6 in favor of the Gales. Face off center ice. Fish, Tritton, and Godino. Puck picked up by Baldy. Walks it up, sends it on net. Left loose, sent aside. Tritton on the forecheck, sent around to the far boards. Kept in play by Godino. Wires it back around. Kept in play by Baldy. Godino, far boards. Chips it down low. Fish sends it back the other way. Tritton battling for position in the corner. Bouncing puck, far wall. Kept in play by Godino. Looking for a passing option. Sends it down low. Sent aside by the goaltender. Godino still keeps it in play. Feeds it back down low. Tritton's going to head in for a change. In comes Westwood. Rubino and Larison and Fitzy. Puck through the neutral zone. Opportunity for Desert Christian disrupted by Gorman. Westwood clears it out. Fish. Larison at the blue line, sends it across. He's going to go in for a change. Davison at center. Rubino back behind the goal line. Out to Larison. Pass out. Westwood to Davis, couldn't get there in time. And Desert Christian brings it back the other direction. Rubino, forced and wide, tried stuffing it short side, and that'll be covered by Faircloth with 5:08 remaining in the first. D-zone face-off coming up here for Gorman. Davis in for the face-off. Loose at the dot. Davis feeds it into the corner. Westwood back behind the goal line. Chipped up. Fitzy. Davis on the forecheck. Not enough for an icing. And there'll be an interference call coming up on Desert Christian. Oh, no. That was just for an icing. Davis is going to make it. but they're going to call an icing and bring it on back. Davison for the puck drop. Wins it back out into the near corner. Luong cycles it out to Trent at the goal line. Out to Westwood, walks it in. Pass broken up. Foot race through the neutral zone. Trent picks it up at the blue line. Back out to Westwood. Takes a hit, trying to get a shot off. And Gorman will go in for a partial change. 2-on-1 the other way. Offsides. As Angst is angry. And oh, maybe that was the wrong player. Slashing call after the play as number 26 heads to the box, and Gorman goes on the power play. Gorman with 2 power play goals so far in the game. Goal against for Gorman is a shorthanded goal in favor of Desert Christian. Fish, Jennings, Creel, Godino, and Trent. Godino sends it out to the near wall. Pass to the middle, shot goes wide, loose, and cleared by Desert Christian. Faircloth will come out. Leave that one for Godino. 4 minutes left in the first period. Trent, shot, short side, still in play. Kept in play again in the zone by Jennings. Jennings pinned in the corner, being held. Creel and Jennings working in the corner. Desert Christian lobs it and clears. 1:15 remaining on the Gorman power play. Godino's got a man on him. Shrugs him off. Trent drops it back. Fish lost control on the skate and almost turned it over, similar to one of the goals Gorman had earlier, right out front the net. Puck comes up to Creel. Creel wires it in. Jennings and Westwood on the forecheck. Dropped back. Jennings kept in play by Kerr. Near wall. Shot wide. Fitzy fires one off. Back up high in the slot. Shot off the goalie's mask. Still in play. And saved. All right. 17 seconds remaining in the Gorman power play. 2:37 remaining in the first period. Davis, Larison, Rubino, Fitzy, and Westwood. Davison for the faceoff. Goes out in favor of Desert Christian, sends around the boards and cleared. Gorman will try to squeeze in one more push. Pass out to Westwood. Out to Davis, near wall, sends it down low. Back to 5-on-5 play. Goalie back behind the net. Turned it over, loose out front. Nope. Westwood sends it to Davis, feeds it down low, just right of the post. Desert Christian brings it out on the far side. Interrupted by Fitzy. And Fitzy scoops that one up at the hash marks. Out to Larison, to Davis. Desert Christian picks it up at the blue line. And they will bring it back the opposite side. Desert Christian walks it in. Dodges a hit from Fitzy. Loose out front. Kerr sends it into the corner to prevent an opportunity. And Kerr chips it up the boards. Cycles it back, actually. And Fitzy there to prevent the opportunity. Larison through the neutral zone. wires it in. Comes around the boards. Klaus and Kerr and Tritton for your forward crew. Trent sends it back down. Return to Trent. Trent's going to walk it up. Feeds it on net. Comes out to Tritton. Sends it around the boards. Kept in play, or in the neutral zone at least, and Gorman's going to reload and walk it back in. Trent at the hash marks in the corner. Cycles back, needing support. Kerr back covering at D. Pass broken up by Klaus. And Desert Christian sends it in. Kerr's going to get there for Gorman. Sends it around the board. Skipped in the corner. Shot, short side. And covered by Faircloth. Blew it dead. Some conversation happening at the net there. No goal. 24 seconds left. Creel, Godino, Fish, Posner, and Baldy. Here to finish it up for Gorman in the first period. Fish in for the faceoff. Picked up by Creel on the rush. Comes away with it. He's got Godino posted out front. Brings it back behind the net. 10 seconds left. Out on the faceoff dot. Stick lift. Godino couldn't get a shot off. And Desert Christian brings it back the other way. Baldy couldn't field that one cleanly. And that'll be it for the first period. All right, getting ready to head into the second period. Gorman with a 4-1 lead. Quick recap of how we got here. Goal number 1 for Gorman, Bonifazio with an assist from Trent. Goal number 2, Cash Creel unassisted on a turnover between the goalie and his defenseman. Goal number 3, Fish, Tommy Trent, and Godino on the assist. And goal number 4, Godino with another assist, his third of the day for Tommy Trent. Fresh 17 on the board. Heading into the second, there will be an ice cut between the second and third. Kicking off the second, Creel, Fish, Godino, Rubino, and Larison. Fish in for the faceoff, comes out in favor of Desert Christian. Trying to set it in deep, not once, but they got the second one. And Godino brings it out on the far side, lobs it in. Creel And Fish working back behind the goal line. Creel takes a hit from behind. Rubino gives a monster hit, and then another one by Creel. And another one by Fish. Gorman defense keeps it out of the zone. Gorman lobs it through. Larison on the forecheck. And Larison will wire it in as Gorman squeezes in a change. Fish, long shift for him. Pass to the near side, shot goes wide. Kept in play. Fish brings it through the neutral zone. Walks it in, Bonifazio. Shot stuffed off a player. Bonifazio with another shot off the blocker and out of play. Sorry, initial shot by Fish off a body. And we'll have a face-off coming up in Desert Christian territory. Jennings, Bonifazio, Tritton, Baldy, and Posner. Shot by Bonifazio, glove save. Jennings sends it into the corner. Loose at the goal line. Tipped by Bonifazio, loose out front. Bonifazio on the back check. Tritton comes in to close it off. Plus the ref on net, brushed aside by the goaltender. Tritton working on the other side, and that will be offsides. And Gorman will go for a line change. Westwood, Davis, Fitzy. Trenton and Luong on defense. Desert Christian wins that one, sends it in the Gorman zone. Back at the goal line, end of the far corner. Puck comes out. Davis working back behind the goal line. Trenton comes in to support. Out to Fitzy. Fitzy with a clearing pass. Couldn't connect. And that'll be enough for an icing. And Gorman will send out some fresh defensive legs. Rubino and Larison come in for support on the D side. Davis in for the puck drop. Comes out in favor of Gorman, chips it off the boards, kept in play by Desert Christian. Shot save by Faircloth. Shots on goal, 14-8 in favor of the Gales. 14:40 remaining. Davis wins the faceoff out to Larison. Larison sends it across to Fitzy. Larison joins the rush. Shot by Fitzy just over the glove. And out. Still in play. Davis on the back check. Cleared. Comes out to Davis. Chips it across. Not enough for an icing. Pass broken up. Off the stick of Fitzy. Still in play though. Puck loose at the goal line. Picked up by Desert Christian. Shot up and over the net. Puck fed out high in the slot. Back out to the near side. Davis is going to pin that one along the boards. Takes a cross check. Comes out, shot by Desert Christian, goes wide, left of the net. Out to Fitzy. Fitzy couldn't get the clear, and Gorman stuffed in their zone in the second period. Long change. Pazzi to Davis. Davis feeds back out to Pazzi through the neutral zone. Couldn't get the shot off. trying to feed it down low. Tritton comes in to support, and he works his way into the corner. Klaus forces a pass. Desert Christian feeds it across, high in the slot, shot off a body, goes wide. Tritton tumbles down, is tangled up. Gorman trying to clear, couldn't. Shot, bouncing puck goes left of the net, right of the net. At the hash marks, Desert Christian gets tied up, and that kept in play. Shot off a body, Kerr sends out the glass, still working to get it out. And thrown. And Kerr going to send it back out to Baldy. Baldy chips it off the boards. Trying to hit Klaus. Klaus hit. The puck wasn't even near him. Shot off the skate of Posner. Gorman trying to clear. We have a huge penalty coming up as Tritton was hit behind the play. Gorman has a penalty coming up in their favor. And Tritton working his way up. And makes his way to the bench. Number 27. For Desert Christian, going to head to the penalty box. Trent, Godino, Creel, Fish, and Jennings. Total of 5 remaining in the second. Gorman keeps the puck in play. Trent walks it up. Sends it back down low and cleared. Godino's got a man on him. Takes a hit back behind. Trent's going to cycle around, find some space, and slow it down. Trent walks by 1, 2, 3, lobs it down low. No one there for Gorman. And sent around the near side. That's going to come all the way out in favor of Desert Christian. Leaves the puck behind, still in Gorman's zone, and Desert Christian are going to wait this one out. Stretch pass all the way out, no one there. Clearing attempt, and Trent leaves it for Godino. Cross-ice pass out to Fish, makes the zone. Ran out of room, feeds it out to Jennings in the corner. Jennings to Fish, high in the slot. Trent, shot off a body. Kept in play, bouncing puck, kept in play by Trent. Sorry, Baldy. Shot, glove save. Next power play unit, Baldy, Fitzy, Davis, Westwood. Oh, Baldy heading in. Nope, Baldy staying. Larison. Fitzy in for the face-off for Gorman. Comes out to Desert Christian and cleared. 28 seconds left. Puck comes out to Baldy in the far corner. Pass out to Westwood near board. Westwood sends it through the crease. Pass from Larison out to Westwood. No icing. Through the crease. Davis comes in, forces a pass the other way. And an opportunity for Desert Christian. And he lost an edge. And went into the boards. Larison tied up. No call on that one. Davis feeds it out to Westwood in motion. Dangles it through, drops it back to Fitzy, feeds it back out to Westwood. Westwood trying to hit Davis, picked up by Desert Christian. Broken up by Gorman. Cleared through. Gorman struggling in the second period here. Timing the line changes. Westwood chips it up. Out to Davis. Davis brings it in, needs to get it deep. Picked up by Desert Christian. And we have an interference call coming up. Not sure who they're waiting for. They're calling down a player. It's like Klaus will head to the box for an interfering call. Gorman on the penalty kill. Gudino, Creel, Luong, and Trent. Puck comes out. Gudino working on the far side, trying to keep it pinned. Loose at the feet, at the hash marks. Shot short side, and Desert Christian adds another one. Gorman with a 4-2 lead with a Desert Christian power play goal. .44 remaining in the second period. Gudino, Fish, Creel, Posner, and Baldy. Fish in for the faceoff. Try it again. Loose at the feet. Creel chips it up. Desert Christian picks it off. Brings it in. Fish with a hit along the near boards. Christian sends it down low. Posner comes away with it. Gets tied up back behind the goal line. Fish gets a stick in there. Desert Christian still has it. Trying to feed the point. And Baldy lobs it, airborne, gloved, and they're going to say icing just over Creel's glove. And it'll come back into Gorman territory. Still 5-5 play. Desert Christian comes away with it. Shot through the face-off dot. No one there in the crease. Comes out to Fish. Fish feeds it to Creel. He's got Gudino with him. Drops it back. Gudino couldn't get a clean shot off. Gudino still has it. Feeds it down low to Fish. Shot. Creel in net. And the goalie comes out swinging. Jennings, Westwood, Larison, Rubino, and Fitzy. Conversations in front of the net. Desert Christian having an extended word with the referees. And we'll see where we're going to do this. Trying to see how we're running our lines right now. Power play for Gorman. Okay. That explains it. Davis wins it out to Larison. Feeds Westwood, brings it across the line. Larison pins it along the near board. Westwood comes back to support. Jennings. Bouncing puck. And they're going to say that was offsides. It bounced on the blue line, didn't clear the blue line. And we'll have another face-off. Neutral zone near side. Jennings, Davis, Westwood, Larison, and Fitzy. Davison for the face-off, drops it back to Jennings. Jennings sends it out to Fitzy. And he'll regroup with Larison. Fitzy through the neutral zone. Lobs it in, takes a hit. Westwood in there for Gorman. Chipped up. Kept in play by Desert Christian. And fed back down low. Desert Christian's going to get there for Gorman. Sorry. Larison gets there for Gorman at the blue line. Keeping it in Desert Christian territory. Jennings comes in with a hit. And Fitzy going to regroup at the hash marks. Pass out to Westwood. Westwood back out to Larison. High in the slot. Feeds it to Fitzy. Davis posted out front. Shot broke a stick. And Desert Christian clears Fitzy with an expensive weekend. Davis, Fish, Trent, and Godino, and Luong. Trent through the neutral zone, walks it in. Davis going for a change. In comes Creel. Shot short side by Trent. Saved by the goaltender. Luong feeds it across to Creel. Back out to Luong. Chips it off the glass. Trent pinches up, sends it back into the corner. Desert Christian going to hold it instead of sending it around with about 5 seconds left. And we are back to 5-on-5 play. Trent cross-checked in the back, comes up to Fish. Fish shot. Glove save. With 5:18 remaining in the second period, Gorman with the lead, 4-2. Desert Christian territory for the face-off. Godino, Creel, Fish, Baldy, and Bosner. Kept in play by Posner. Sends it back down. Fish. Creel shot stuffed. Shot off the goalie's mask. Shot from Godino. Creel takes a hit in the corner. Desert Christian able to get the clear. And Desert Christian sends it on net. Brushed aside by Faircloth. And it's like Fish gonna head to the box now. For Gorman. Didn't see the call. Davis. Westwood. Larison. And Rubino's shot goes up and over the net. Rubino working in the corner, gets a hit. Westwood chips it on the forecheck, takes a hit in the head. Rubino gets a stick in there, breaks it up, couldn't clear. Davis almost picks that one off. Larson feeds it to Davis. Davis lost an edge. And Desert Christian brings it back the other way. They have an opportunity. Shot off the blocker, goes wide. And Gorman gets the clear. And the goaltender will come out and recess back. Godino and Creel. Trent and Rubino. Godino gets a stick in there. Player lost an edge. Godino comes in like a bullet and forces them to send it into their own corner. 50 seconds remaining on the Gorman penalty kill. Chipped up. And Desert Christian wires it in. Trent gets there for Gorman, sends it around the boards, out of reach of Creel. But Luong has it, feeds it through. Godino on the forecheck, gets taken down, and I'm not sure how they're going to call this one. Tripping is the call. And we have a penalty coming up for Desert Christian. Number 16 will head to the box for tripping. .26 seconds, 4-on-4. Slashing is the call as well. There is 2 penalties on the play. Number 5 will join. All right, Gorman, 26 seconds, man in the box. And so we'll have a little bit of 4-on-3. And then Gorman will have a 5-on-3 opportunity. Not sure if they're trying to say it's I'm assuming we have a timeout here on Gorman. There was a penalty shot last night in favor of Central Cathedral. Laskoska coming up with the save. Wasn't sure if they're making a similar argument. In any event, expectation is that we will have 4-on-3 for 26 seconds, and then Gorman will go on a 5-on-3 as there were 2 minor penalties in Desert Christian at the end of that sequence. Tripping and slashing, the 2 penalties. As a reminder, we got 1 more game this weekend. Same team, Desert Christian, 5 p.m. Pacific time over at Great Park Ice. 4-on-4 coming up. Davis, Jennings, Godino, and Trent. And Gorman will head into a 5-3 power play. 3:10 remaining in the second before the ice cut. Davis in for the faceoff. Comes out in favor of Desert Christian, tipped down by Godino. Oh, they're going to wave off the face-off. Not sure why. Davis with the hit, bouncing puck at the blue line. Davis wires it around the boards. Stretch pass, kept in play. Desert Christian lobs it up. And Trent on the back check. 2 seconds left on the Gorman penalty. And Fish comes out. Gorman with a 5-3 man advantage. Pass out to Cadino, near corner. Pass out to Cadino, high in the slot. Davis posted out front. Trent shot off a body. Kept in play by Cadino, fed back down to Fish. Fish drops a player with the feet. Shot Cadino, tipped by Davis, goes wide. Shot by Jennings, loose. Jennings and Fish working in the near corner. 48 seconds left on the 5-3. And they're content to just let this one ride out. Puck comes out, favor Davis. Hits Trent, shot off the glove. Davis backhands it and covered with 1:40 remaining and 30 seconds remaining on the penalties. Davis feeding Trent at the hash marks, gets a shot loose off the glove. The goalie covers on the backhand from Davis. 30 seconds left. 5-on-3 in favor of Gorman. Kerr, Westwood, Creel, Baldy, and Fitzy. Puck comes out to Baldy. Fitzy couldn't field that one cleanly off his skate. Get back down low. Kerr, Baldy high in the slot. Shot off a body. Westwood's going to get there for Gorman. Christian clears it. Gorman gets tied up. And Fitzy's going to send it down low. He's got a man on him. He's got Westwood. Walks it up. Lost an edge. And Christian sends it around the boards. Kept in play by Kerr. Kerr feeds it to Westwood. He's got Creel out front. Couldn't connect. Westwood looking for an option. Feeds it back to the goal line. In fact, the 5-on-5 play. Feed out to Baldy at the blue line. Shot loose in the crease. Still loose. Kept in by Baldy. Baldy shot. Glove save. And Fitzy or Creel, couldn't see the number. Creel, some extra hitting after the play as he's dropped to the ice. And some words exchanged between Desert Christian and the referees. Lots of conversations happening with the referees and the benches. Looks like Kerr is going to head to the box. And two for Gorman are heading to the box. Not sure how we're doing this. 32.5 seconds left on the scoreboard here. Creel cross-checked after the whistle. Words exchanged, a little bit of shoving. Gorman has two in the box. Gorman looking for an explanation here. Waiting for him to update the game sheet. No one in the box for Desert Christian. Creel, minor penalty for roughing. A live update here. Kerr also in the box with him. Kerr with unsportsmanlike conduct, 2 minutes. And looks like that will be it. And the refs having a conversation with the Desert Christian bench. And looks like they may be sending one to the box as well. They will. Looks like number 15 will head to the box for Desert Christian. Number 15, Angst. And we'll play some 4-on-3, I think, or they just have Creel. Roughing is the call. All right, the two Kerr penalty and the Desert Christian penalty offsetting. The only one posted here is Creel. Nope, they're going to remove Creel's as well. And we are actually going to play some 5-on-5. Puck comes out to Tritton. Tritton couldn't get the clear. Fed through to Fish. Fish through the neutral zone. Makes it in. Feeds it out to Tritton. Couldn't get that one on the backside of the stick. And Christian's going to bring it back the other way. Couldn't break through. Udino working on the near wall with Tritton. Tritton sends it across, and that'll wrap it up. All right. Creel, Kerr, and Desert Christian in for a 2-minute timeout. Nothing. We're still playing 5-5, and we will be heading to an ice cut before kicking off the third period. So if you want to stick around, we should be back in about 10 minutes, we'll say. No, it says 15 on the board. See you in about 15. All right. Welcome back and getting ready for the third period. Gorman heading into the third with a 4-2 lead. Shots on goal, 24-13 in favor of Gorman. As a reminder, these two teams will play again this evening over at Great Park Ice. Game starts at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And as an extra reminder, Gorman, most teams, if not all, will be playing this week over Thanksgiving in the Silver Stick Tournament on home ice. Those games should be broadcast here. D1 kicks off early Thanksgiving morning. Be able to squeeze in some hockey while prepping for dinner. Kicking out the third with Creel and Kerr in the box. The unsportsmanlike and a roughing penalty. Still 5-on-5 hockey. Desert Christian with player in the box as well. Puck comes out in favor of Gorman. Godino brings it out on the far side, sends it down low. Godino takes a hit back behind the goal line. Fish comes in to support. Closed off by Rubino. Tritton sends it down low off the skate. Larison, the other defenseman, here for Gorman. Fed back up to Larison at the point. Shot off the skate. Tritton sends it out into the far corner. Kept in play by Larison. Christian able to get the clear. And Tritton sends it back the other way. Goes in for a change. Westwood along the near wall. Baldy and Posner on defense. In comes Davis for Fish. Kept in play by Westwood. Sends it out. And that'll clear out to Baldy. Baldy going to regroup in the neutral zone. Feeds it out to Davis. And it should have been too many men there. Kept in play by Davis. Comes out to Baldy. Glove save out front. Too many men. People came over the boards. It was loose at the feet. And some Desert Christian players diving back over before getting called. 15:38 remaining. Fitzy, Davis, Westwood, Posner, and Baldy. Davis in for the faceoff. Desert Christian wins it into their corner. Off the stick, Desert Christian feeds it across. Davis comes in, gives a hit. Fed back through, picked up by Desert Christian. Shot, goal. And Desert Christian brings the Gorman lead down to 1. And looks like Skoska is going to come in for Faircloth here in the third. Bonifazio, Luong, Jennings, Trent, and Klaus. And through the puck drop, Jennings in for the faceoff. Skoska in net. Comes out in favor of Desert Christian. Chipped down low by Desert Christian. And Trent Brings it back along the near side, tripped up. Shot wide. That's along the far side. Trent gets a stick in there. Christian comes away with it. Feeds it through the slot, picked up by Gorman, kept in play, and eventually cleared through the neutral zone. Send it into the near corner. Luong battles through, sends it out to the far side. Trent looking for an option here. He's got a man on him, drops it back to Luong. He's got a man on him. Out to Klaus. Bonifazio. Bonifazio lobs it in. Back at the Bonifazio in the near corner. Creel comes in to support. Cross-ice pass, no one there for Desert Christian. Overshot it, and he needed to tag up. Creel with a hit. Sent in, no one there for Gorman going after the puck. There's a man in the slot. Rubino on the press, ties him up. Shots, and saved. Larson there to say hello. Face-off coming up in Gorman territory. Fish, Godino, Posner, Creel, and Baldy. Laskoska in net for Gorman after a goalie change. Face-off comes out. Desert Christian feeds it back down low, out of reach. Baldy's going to get there for Gorman. Chips it back up along the near wall to Creel. Creel sends it off the boards. Creel almost comes away with that one. Loose in the neutral zone. Fish lobs it in, opposite corner. Sent around the near side. Kept in play by Godino, sends it out to Posner on the far side. Posner chips it back down low. Fish for Gorman. He's got Creel posted right out front. Godino pinned along the corner. Fed back out to the blue line. Posner chips it down low. Tipped, goes wide. Clearing past to Baldy, picked up. And 2-on-1 opportunity the other way. Missed connection there, and Desert Christian sends it back through, interrupted by Posner. And Godino sends it back behind the Gorman net. Looking for a passing option. He's got Davis on the other side, tipped out to Creel. Creel tripped, no call. Desert Christian bouncing pass through, picked up by Trent. Out to Luong. Fed back out to Davis. Davis wires it in, takes a hit from behind. Goalie feeds that one through the crease. Westwood comes in. Walked across, that should have been offsides. Shot, saved by Laskoska. Puck up and out of play. May have been off the referee. .12:02 in the third. Gorman with a 1-goal lead. Fitzy, Davis, Westwood, Luong, and Trent. Davis into the faceoff, comes out in favor of Gorman. Fitzy clears. Stretch pass out the other way. Trent ties it up. Luong comes in to support. Shot deflected by Luong. Bounce pass. Fed down low, loose. Sent offside by Gorman. Desert Christian trying to set up. Shot off the body into the far corner. In comes Jennings. Puck chipped up. Jennings tips it out to Westwood. Couldn't control that one cleanly, and Desert Christian's going to bring it back the other way. Back check by Westwood proves useful here. And Gorman able to come away with it. Westwood walks it back in, feeds it out to Tritton. Shot off the blocker. Comes out into the neutral zone. Larison wires it back in. Gorman will tag up and reload on the offense. Jennings comes in, almost picks that one off, as well as Tritton. Christian sends across the far side. Offsides. Neutral zone face-off coming up outside Gorman territory. Klaus, Tritton, Jennings, Posner, and Baldy. Jennings in for the face-off. Wins it back out, picked up by Desert Christian. Tritton picks that up just outside the face-off dot, tipped in. Klaus goes in, couldn't get there in time. Pass off Tritton. Jennings comes in with a huge hit. And puck lobs out to Posner at the blue line. Makes it, sends it in, takes a hit in the process. And Desert Christian brings it back the other way. Jennings with a hit. Baldy cycles back around. Walks it in. Has it in the far corner. Trying to clear off a body. Bouncing puck to the blue line. One-on-one the other way. Luong, lone defenseman. And we have a penalty coming up here on Gorman. Looks like Klaus will head to the box. I believe hooking will be the call. And it is. Penalty kill coming up for Gorman, Godino, Creel, Trent, and Luong. High at the point, fed out to the other side. High in the slot. Near side couldn't connect. And Trent there for Gorman, trying to chip it out to Godino. Kept in play by Desert Christian. Sent down low. Trent comes in to support. Gets a stick in there. Kept in play, cross-ice pass. Loose out front, shot. Sent wide by Laskoska. Desert Christian still has it in the Gorman zone. Off the skate, still high in the slot. Gorman trying to get the clear, they will. Creel, he'll chip it out. And Gorman will go for a change. Fitzy and Westwood, Rubino and Larison. Pass along the blue line, fed back down low. High in the slot, brought out to the near side. Back to the point. Sent around the boards, back behind the goal line. Larison, shot, save, Laskoska. Gorman unable to get the clear, kept in play. Desert Christian squeezing in a change. 25 seconds left. Gorman pinned in their zone. Pass picked up, still in play. Gorman then able to clear. They'll come out to Rubino. Rubino shovels it, couldn't clear. Still in play. Shot, glove save, Laskoska. 2 seconds left on the Gorman PK. Creel, Godino, Baldy, and Posner. Puck comes out in favor of Gorman. Chipped up, trying to hit Klaus. Klaus heading to the bench. And in comes Fish. And That's going to be a penalty. 2 shots to the head. That was something. 2 checks directly to the head of the Gorman players in succession. See how they call this one. They're going to have another player come in. And we'll see how they call this one. And he's going to be removed from the game. Number 26, heading to the locker room. Still waiting for this to post up. Looks like a 2-minute. Will be served by another player. He's been asked to leave. Most likely a 2 and 10 with only 7.5 remaining in the game. Maybe a double. It is a double minor. Creel in the far corner. Godino walks it up. Sent around the boards. And Trent couldn't field that one cleanly, and he's going to have to back check and recover. Trent drops it back to Godino. Fish, the other forward, as well as Jennings. And that should have been a hooking. No call there. Fish gets tripped up. No call there. He's able to recover. Sent around the boards over the stick of Trent. And Desert Christian going to squeeze in a change. Trent sends it out to the far side. Fish makes it through, takes a hit at the end of the bench, and cleared by Desert Christian. Gorman gonna change up the unit. Desert Christian working in Gorman's zone with a man down. Jennings back to Godino. Pass out to Westwood. Fitzy and Davis in for the forward crew. Jennings still out. 2:25 remaining. Odd bounce off the glass past Fitzy and gets the clear. Puck comes out to Westwood. He's out to Fitzy near side. Walks it in. Shot. Loose. Through the middle. Davis. Shot. Off a body, cleared, and that's going to be an icing. All right, face-off coming up in Gorman's defensive zone. Davis, Creel, Godino, Fish, and Westwood. Davis into the face-off, wins it out to Fish. Fish sends it across to Creel, brings it in the zone, takes a hit, and cleared the other way off of Godino. Back out to Trent. Creel and Godino feeds it out to Creel. Creel sends it. Couldn't connect. And it was just right of the net. Sent back down low. And cleared by Desecration. Nope. Kept in play. Desecration walks it back the other way. Gorman gave up a shorty earlier in the game. And over behind the play, we have a stoppage here. Fish will get a holding call. Penalties giveth and taketh. And we'll play minute 13, 4-on-4. Westwood, Godino, Rubino, and Larison. And we'll get the clock fixed here. Westwood brings it in the zone. And Desecration will bring it back the other way. Trying to feed it across. Rubino prevents the pass. Puck loose at the feet. Fed through the slot. Couldn't connect. Larison forcing him wide, walks up through, bouncing puck outside the crease. Puck comes out to Westwood. Westwood on the forecheck the other way, bouncing pass. Rubino is able to get there for Gorman. Rubino, shot. Glove save. 3:54 remaining in the third. 20 seconds left on the double minor. And then 107 on the Fish penalty. Fitzy, Creel, Luong, and Trent. Fitzy in for the face-off, loose at the feet. Desecration comes away with it. Desecration sends it out the far side. Room to work. And they're calling a penalty for tripping. And the penalty's over. Shot. Tying goal. Desecration. As the penalty ended, goalie hit the bench, and they had a 6-on-4 opportunity. That'll be a power play goal for Desert Christian. Scoreboard showing back to 5-5 play. So Fitzy serving his penalty off the delay. They're saying that that one cleared the Fish penalty, but not. In any event, Gorman is still on the penalty kill. Puck sent out wide into Desert Christian zone. Westwood and Godino picked up. Westwood almost with a takeaway there. Godino also working up high. Baldy and Posner back at the Gorman blue line. Baldy gets there for Gorman. Feeds it through. Westwood with an opportunity. Looking for the top, just over the net. Godino on the back check. Forces him to send it wide to the near side. Drop back right to Westwood. Westwood going to take his time, and he's going to wire it down. Godino is going to go on the forecheck. Goalie back behind the net. Issue between the goalie and the defenseman earlier in the game. In comes Creel. Rubino comes in with a monster hit, fed out, not cleared. High in the slot. Shot. Save. Off the glove, goes wide. Pass out to the near side. Back out to the goal line. Shot. And up and out of play. Larison gets a stick in there. 42 seconds left on the PK as the next PK unit comes out for Gorman. Fish, Trent, Luong, and Westwood. Westwood in for the faceoff. And Gorman gets the clear all the way down. Fish on the forecheck. Scooped up by Desert Christian, brought back the other way. Pass out wide, couldn't connect, and they're going to wire it in. That should be an icing. That was about 3 feet short. Luong battling in the near corner. Desert Christian comes away with it. Luong pins him. 12 seconds left. See how long they let him hold this here. Luong, one-man army in the corner. And Gorman is back to 5-on-5 play. Fitzy hits the ice for Gorman. Loose out front, off the blocker. Still in play, shot, goes wide. Fish gonna get there for Gorman. Fitzy on the near side, on the rush. Sends it out to Fish, couldn't connect. And he's gonna send it around the boards to be safe. Westwood flushing him out on the far side. Picked up by Godino. Godino chips it out. Pass through. No icing on this one. Oh, they will ice it. 41 seconds remaining. Baldy, Posner, Godino, Creel, and Davis for a face-off in the offensive zone. Comes out in favor of Desert Christian. Sent around the boards, out of reach of Trent. And that will be an icing. 33.5 seconds remaining. Gorman needing a face-off win here to set something up and prevent heading to overtime. Godino in for the face-off this time. Loose out front. Creel takes a hard hit in the corner. Still up. Dangled through. Godino ties it up. Broken stick. Godino chips it out wide. 12 seconds remaining. Puck comes out. Gorman kicks it up. Jennings makes the zone. Dangles through. 2, 1. And got the shot off. Not right at the end. And the indication is we got lumber everywhere over here. And cleanup crew comes in. right, we will head to overtime. All right, penalty didn't clear earlier. 5 minutes on the board.
Let's go, Gorman!
Play some 4-on-4 hockey in back-to-back games. Westwood, Fish, Trent, and Luong. Shots on goal 29-21 in favor of Gorman. Fish in for the faceoff. Gorman wins it back. Luong makes it, sends it in. Fish back behind the goal line, chips it across. And Desert Christian looking for a passing option. Westwood loose out front. Tommy Trent shot goes wide. Westwood feeds it back out to Luong. Slow puck. Feeds it back down low. Bounces over the stick off the ref. Still in reach of Westwood. Westwood sends it out to Trent on the far side. Or sorry, near side. Trent got Godino in motion. Trent locks it up in the slot. Looking for some space, feeds it back out to the far side. Luong back out to Trent, near side. Back down low, Godino. Shot, loose. Luong couldn't get the shot off. And Desert Christian brings it out along the far side. And off the bench. Godino, Creel. This is running clock. Larson and Rubino back for Gorman. Defense, Rubino wires it around the boards. Creel on the forecheck. Pass broken up by Larson. Rubino chips it up to Creel. Creel with an opportunity that goes up into the netting. All right. Clock running here. 2:45 and counting. Faceoff goes into the corner. Out of reach of Desert Christian. Creel's going to get there for Gorman. Godino comes in to support. Larson takes the puck at the blue line, out to the near wall. Godino sends it around the boards to Rubino on the far side. Couldn't connect with it, and that clears out of the zone. Pass out to Godino along the near wall. Back to Larson. Godino near side. Stutters his way up, makes the zone at the feet. Misconnection. Fitzy comes away with it. And they bring it back the other way. Make the zone. Larson poke checks that one off and clears out of the Gorman zone. 1:44 remaining. Pass out for a defensive regroup. Brings it in. Sends it down low. Rubino's there for Gorman. Chips it out to Fitzy. Couldn't connect. Westwood sends it to Fitzy. Fitzy makes the zone. Poke checked off the stick. Kept in play by Larson. Fed back down low. 1:20 remaining. Desert Christian drops it back twice. Locks it in with speed. Poke checked off, fed back out to the blue line. Cross ice pass, shot off the blocker. Kept in, wow, walked out. 53 seconds remaining. Pass broken up by Larison. Chipped out to Westwood. Westwood to Larison. Larison walks it in, gets tied up, dropped down. No call there. And Desert Christian brings it across. Couldn't make the zone, tied up by Fish. Baldy comes in for Larison. On a change. Shot loose out front, comes out clean. And Westwood has an opportunity the other way with Trent. Feeds it out to Trent. Trent feeds it back through. Westwood chips it just right of the post, comes out, kept in play by Baldy. Shot loose and grabbed out of the air, and that will wrap it up for overtime. And we will move over to shootout. In back-to-back games. All right, Desert Christian will take the first shot. Save Luskaska. And for Gorman, Fitzy takes the ice. And denied by the Desert Christian goaltender. Christian with their second attempt. Goal for Desert Christian. Godino next up for Gorman. And that one wide. Third attempt by Desert. And a miss. Gorman with their third attempt, needing to tie it up. Westwood. And that'll wrap it up. Glove save. Final score 5-4 in favor of Desert Christian. Final score 5-4 in shootout. Gorman 1-1 so far this weekend. As a reminder, these two teams will play again in a few hours. About 4 hours, we'll have another face-off over at Great Park Ice. That game will be on this channel, so we will see you then.